Well, I think one of the purest forms of the game that we can play, and obviously being outdoor, I think most of us have played, grew up skating on lakes and outdoor rinks, and it just makes it very special to be able to do that at the highest level possible. And normally, obviously, the big crowds make it very special, and this time around it'll be a little bit different, but nonetheless, it'll be a very unique experience. So looking forward to it.
And Cale?
Yeah, just to kind of back what Landy said there. Just I think for our first or my first outdoor game with the Avs here, it was a lot of just about the atmosphere. It was very cool just to play in that entire kind of stadium. But no, just excited to kind of get out again on the ice and outdoors for sure.
And Mark?
Yeah, I mean, there are obviously unique opportunities. One's is kids brings back memories to when your childhood days. I growing up in Winnipeg, skated on outdoor rinks from basically November all the way up till April. So brings back good memories. It's fun to kind of see the surroundings, breathe in the fresh air, and get to do something that not everyone gets to do.
Thanks. And Jonathan, what does it mean to be making your outdoor debut?
Yeah, pretty excited. Like they said, it's like that's pretty much where we all started, on the outdoor rinks. So it's going to be fun to get my first one in, and really looking forward to it.
Thanks. We'll now take some questions from the media. A reminder to raise your hand, and please direct your question to a specific player. We will also take questions in native language toward the end of the availability. Our first question comes from Mike Chambers.
Hey, this question is for Gabe and Cale on the Colorado end. Obviously, Saturday's game is a special game, but is it kind of weird to be talking about it ahead of a big game that you have Tuesday against Vegas?
Go ahead.
Manny.
No. It's all you. I won't be playing in that game, so it's all you.
Yeah, no. I mean, I like to be in the present, but no, at the end of the day, it's a pretty big game. So I think quite a few guys are excited, looking forward to it. But yeah, you just still want to take it day by day.
Next question comes from Ted Sobel. Ted, go ahead and unmute. Okay, we're having an issue with Ted, so we'll take the next question from Arif Dean.
Hey, this one's also for Gabe and Cale. I was hoping to get both of your thoughts on this. Heading into this outdoor game, I mean, you guys have gone through a lot of things already this season. Injuries, COVID, obviously a bunch of road trips, back-to-backs, things like that. Yesterday's game was actually the first day of the second month of the season. Looking back at that first month and everything you guys have been through, I just wanted your guys' thoughts on your team's performance and maybe your personal performance and just your overall thoughts on everything you guys have already been through to this point of the season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the entire season is very different from what we're normally used to. So but I think that's our mindset going into going into the season, that we just kind of take it in stride and do what we can with, under the circumstances. And I think we started off as a team a little bit slow, we'd win one, we'd lose one, and we couldn't really get our footing. And then I think we, at some point towards the end of that California road trip and then come home in that Minnesota series, I thought we really started playing a lot better and really started getting some results because of it as well. And then, injuries start piling up and COVID hit our team pretty good. So, but then again, it's just that year and it's a part of what we're going to have to battle through this year. And I'm sure every team is going to go through their injuries at some point in the year. But for us, it's better that it's happening now and rather than May and June. So we just got to find a way through it and get back on the winning side of things.
We'll take the next question from Ben Getz.
Hi, this one's for Mark and Jonathan. Mark, you mentioned growing up in Winnipeg. Just what are some of your favorite memories playing outdoors growing up? And for you, Jonathan, I guess, where did you play outdoors growing up, and what are some of your favorite memories there?
I don't know. I mean, just breathing in the fresh air, having the snow come down, just playing shinny with your buddies. That's kind of the fun times of playing hockey. So it's kind of where you learn your little tricks of the trade. Just going out and just kind of messing around, not really having a care in the world, and just having fun.
Yeah, it's pretty much like Mark said. It's just where everybody develop their passion for hockey. It's for myself, it's outside, so it's good memories, and obviously it's probably my favorite memories from my childhood. Is just going to play out there and pack a lunch and come back probably like 9 hours later at the house, and you're pretty cold, but I mean it was all worth it. And no, it's just great times. And I was in Quebec City.
We'll take our next question from Josh Dubois, Associated Press.
For any of you who have played in the outdoor games before, just how different do you think this will be, not in the stadium environment, just in the environment at Tahoe, and are you sort of looking forward to that difference?
Sorry, who was that question for?
It'd be for you, Gabe. Someone who's played in some of the stadium games. So if you want to address that, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like I said at the start, it's, in the earlier, the games that we played before, it's been pretty big spectacles. That we played at the Coors Field here in Denver, where the Colorado Rockies play baseball, and that was, I don't know how many people were there, but it's a pretty amazing environment to see, look up, and we're used to 20,000 people, and now this might have been, quadruple that. So pretty unique experience, and this will be a lot different, obviously, with no fans, but I think you're not protected as much, and who knows if the wind's going to play a factor or whatever, but nonetheless, it's going to be pretty unique and a very special day.
Mark or Cale, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, not too much on my end. It'll be different, and it'll be basically like just going back playing at home, just on a regular outdoor rink with no fans or anything. So yeah, it'll be an interesting atmosphere, but I'm sure we'll get used to it pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing for me is it's going to be a pretty cool to see the mountains surrounding everything. I think that's going to be a pretty cool scene.
Great. The next question comes from Justin Emerson, Las Vegas Sun.
Hey, John, for you specifically, you've been with this franchise since the expansion draft and everything, went to the Stanley Cup final. Does getting an outdoor game in year 4 just kind of feel like part of the evolution of the franchise, that it's kind of reached this point? And I guess, are you hoping to see an outdoor game in Vegas at some point, maybe at Allegiant Stadium?
Yeah, I think it's just I think it was time. I mean, we're part of a group that is one of the good teams in the NHL. So obviously, it's quite a nice honor that we've been choosing to go play against Colorado there. And yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised that there's one in Vegas. I think the weather's kind of during the winter is kind of perfect for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they would manage to organize one here.
Thanks. We'll go back to Ted Sobel. Go ahead and unmute, Ted.
Okay, guys. For Mark, could you describe what Marc-Andre Fleury means to you, the club, to the room, to the city, and I mean what he's doing at this stage of his career, and bringing another guy from a cold weather area? I think you're all going to enjoy this more than ever. 39 degrees is supposed to be on Saturday.
I mean, I think with Flower, he adds an element that I've never played with really before. One of the most competitive, athletic guys I've ever played with. Nothing really surprises me. He goes about his business. He's a good pro, and when he's called upon, he's ready to play for us. As far as weather, I think the goaltending is probably going to be the hardest. It's going to be cold for them standing in there for 60 minutes, whereas the benches are probably going to be heated. But 39 degrees doesn't sound too bad. I think it was -20 at puck drop in Ottawa, so this one's going to feel easy.
Thanks, Ted. The next question comes from Nick Konstanika.
I apologize if you were asked this, I had trouble getting on the Zoom, but just, we ask this every outdoor game of your memories growing up playing outdoors, but in how much detail can you give me? What was it like as a kid playing outside, the pond, and how close is this to that?
Yeah, I mean, for me,
sorry, who was that for, Nick?
Whoever's got the best answer, honestly. But if we could start maybe, I don't know, just go clockwise. Gabe and Cale, and then Jonathan and Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I remember growing up in Stockholm. We, ice time and rinks were pretty limited at times, and there were some outdoor rinks that were just kind of wide open. And I remember my dad and I would sometimes go there late at night, and the lights be on, and it's just such a different feeling from being inside of a rink, and it's just very pure, and obviously you hear the kind of wind howling around you, and just very unique memories and special memories, especially that time on the rink with my old man, and then obviously as you get older, you start playing some games and practices and things like that. But that's definitely where a part of it where I fell in love with the game, no doubt.
Yeah, just to kind of go off what Landy said there too. Obviously, at young age in Calgary and stuff, going on the outdoor rink, you just don't really have a care in the world. You're just kind of out there with friends and buddies and just having a good time, and you just kind of forget about everything around you. And I think that was just kind of where everybody falls in love with the game, is just right in the moment, focusing on hockey and just kind of having fun with it and nothing too serious.
All right, the next question comes from Ed Graney.
Yeah, John, it's going to be on NBC, and obviously a lot of the outdoor stuff is meant to grow the game and to get people maybe who haven't seen a lot of outdoor to, and embrace the game. Can you see this happening with outdoor games, and kind of maybe people who don't know a lot about it look at this and think it's pretty cool and want to follow it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely for the people in Vegas, it's going to give another perspective of the game. I mean, they're going to, obviously now they know that for all of us hockey players, it all started when we were young, and for them to know that we did that on a weekly basis, it's going to be nice for them to get to know us a little better, and it's going to definitely grow the game around the area of Vegas, and obviously in the United States where there's not a lot of hockey, it's going to be great publicity for our game, and no, I think we're really looking forward to that.
We'll take a few more questions for the guys before going into native languages. The next question comes from David Shane.
Hi, for you, Mark. I was just wondering if you could just tell me your initial reaction to finding out about the game playing on a golf course. I know you're obviously a big golfer. And then there was a clip a few weeks ago of Pierre-Edouard Bellemare being told that the game's not on the lake. I was wondering if you guys saw that and just maybe his former teammates gave him a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched that golf tournament, the celebrity golf tournament, plenty of times. It's a pretty cool surrounding. Everything that I've heard about Lake Tahoe, I've never actually been, but everything I've heard about the place is that it's just an incredible Four Seasons place to go. And when I first found out about the game and saw the pictures, it just it's unique. I mean, seeing the mountains, the views that we're going to have just by, I'm almost excited for the first practice, just kind of taking it all in. And as far as Belly, no, I didn't see that video on him.
Our next question comes from Andrew Nupson.
Hey guys, with Mark answering that he had never been to Lake Tahoe before, so this will be for the other three of you guys. Have you ever been to Lake Tahoe before this weekend will be coming up? If yes, how would you describe it to someone that's never been there before? And if no, how interesting is it that you'll be going to a place you've never been before with how well traveled all you guys are?
Yeah, I think it's good. I've never been there before. And just like Mark said, I've seen that golf tournament. It's usually you can almost tell by how beautiful it is by the broadcast, but it still won't be the same as being there, and be very cool to go. And obviously by the looks of it, the rink is basically right next to the lake on the 18th or 17th hole there, whatever. So it'll be very cool, and I'm expecting to soak it in on the practice day we get on Friday, and really just enjoy it. And then come game time, it's we'll crank it up and play a hockey game. But definitely it'd be cool, and super excited to go.
Jonathan or Cale?
Yeah, I mean, like, I never been there, but I've seen the picture, and it's like we like, for everybody, we just can't wait to be there. And obviously it's going to be nice to be there for practice and like look at their surroundings. But it's going to be interesting too. Like, we're in the middle of a season, and we're getting in new plays that no one is familiar with. So it's going to be it's going to be definitely a fun challenge for both teams, and definitely can wait to get it started.
And Cale?
Yeah, really not too much to add. I've never been there either. Just looking forward to kind of to see the scenic views and stuff like that, and take it all in on the first day. And like Jonathan kind of touched on there, it's going to be new for everybody, a place that most people probably never been. But I've seen a little bit of on TV just through the golf stuff. But no, it'll be a different experience just being able to be there.
Okay, we'll take one more question before going to native languages. The last question comes from Gary Lawless.
I'll just direct this one at Mark. This is a game that is played outdoors, but with no fans. I think Gabriel called it the most pure version of hockey, playing outdoors. But the fact that there's no fans, does that, I know it's on TV, but does that add to it that this is really going to be like a day at the ODR when you're a kid, when you're just out there and there's no one watching?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, you've lived in Winnipeg, just like I have. You realize, the amount of fun that people have had spending their times on outdoor rinks. That's what people do for fun in that city. So, as some of the best memories I have are on that outdoor rink. So for us to just kind of go get away from everything, it's going to kind of almost feel like we're getting away from, almost civilization for, 48 hours, just being out there, not really seeing anyone but each other, and then getting to play a competitive hockey game in that kind of setting is going to be special, I think, for everybody involved.
Thank you, Mark and Cale. We will now take questions in French and Swedish for Gabe and Jonathan. Mark and Cale, you are free to end your meeting. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
If you have a question in French or Swedish, please raise your hand. We'll go to Guillaume Lepage, NHL.com.
Salut Jonathan, tu as joué jusqu'à maintenant pour 4 des 6 équipes qui n'avaient jamais joué de match extérieur dans la Ligue nationale. Est-ce que tu commençais à te demander si ça allait arriver un jour pour toi?
Oui, c'est sûr. Veux pas, je pense que ça a toujours l'air d'une belle expérience. Puis je suis vraiment content de faire partie de celle-là. C'est sûr que sans les fans, ça va être c'est dommage un petit peu, mais surtout sans la famille. Tu veux pas, tu fais des expériences de même pour que ta femme et tes enfants viennent sur la patinoire avec toi. Mais peut-être que dans le futur, je vais pouvoir en avoir une autre, mais celle-là devrait vraiment être spéciale. Là, de quoi ça a l'air, où ça va être, ça a l'air vraiment incroyable. Puis je suis vraiment excité de pouvoir faire partie de cette partie-là. Là.
Our next question comes from Yanni Bengtsson.
Yeah, hej Gabriel, Janne Bengtsson här. Hör du mig?
Jag hör dig.
Bra. Du har ju svarat på den här frågan på engelska egentligen, men jag tänkte att vi kör på svenska också. Det här måste ju vara det mest genuina man kan komma, eller så nära det mest genuina man kan komma. Ingen publik, det är nästan som när jag smitit in på rinken på natten liksom och lirar lite kompishockey. Jämför det med de här två, eller med de erfarenheter du har av utomhushockey tidigare på NHL-nivå.
Ja, nej, men det kommer ju bli väldigt speciellt och väldigt unik upplevelse såklart utan fans och säkert inte av de bilderna jag sett av rinken då, så är det egentligen bara en hockeyrink och inte så mycket mer. Sen har du sjön och bergen runt omkring, så att det kommer bli väldigt speciellt och som jag sa lite tidigare, att det kommer bli häftigt att se om vinden kommer spela in och vara en faktor, eller hur det kommer bli. Men jämfört med tidigare så är man skyddad lite från vind och så där när vi spelar på baseballarena, och även förra året när vi spelar på amerikansk fotbollsarena. Så lite annorlunda kommer det säkert bli, eller väldigt annorlunda, men det ska bli riktigt häftigt och det ska bli skitkul.
We'll take a follow-up from Guillaume Lepage, NHL.com.
Oui, Jonathan, tu parlais tantôt du paysage, tu as vu les photos, tout ça. Je me demandais, je me doute de la réponse, mais dans le coin de Cap-Rouge, ça ressemblait à quoi un peu le background que tu avais pour tes matchs extérieurs?
Dans le coin de Cap-Rouge, j'allais soit au parc Le Plateau ou au bocage ou aux sources, puis autour, c'est pas mal des petites forêts. Fait que c'était pas nécessairement des paysages de montagne puis tout, mais tu sais, c'était parfait. Là. Moi, c'est là que j'ai mes plus beaux souvenirs. Mais c'est sûr que c'est pas le... La Ligue nationale font en sorte que ça soit wow. Puis je pense que ça va l'être. Là.
And Yanni, did you have a follow-up as well?
Yes, I do. Gabriel, det snackas mycket förra säsongen att ni var favoriter till Stanley Cup. Nu har ni spelat en månad, ni har haft några uppskjutna matcher och så, men hur tycker du att det har sett ut, spelet med laget och så vidare? Och sen kör jag en fråga till på en gång då. Det finns ju en film som heter Mystery Alaska som lite påminner om det här när, jag tror det är Rangers åker till någon liten by i Alaska och spelar hockey. Har du sett den filmen?
Den filmen har jag sett. Det är en riktig klassiker, så att det kommer bli häftigt och det kommer säkert kännas lite så. Så att det ska bli riktigt kul, och sen också att såklart att det ska bli kul att vi kommer in en dag tidigare och får träna och får verkligen njuta av omgivningen, och sen när det väl är matchdag då får man försöka fokusera på matchen och sådär. Men och återgå till din första fråga, så tycker jag såklart att men vi började säsongen lite trevande fick inte riktigt fotfäste, vi förlorade en, vi vann en och så vidare, och kunde inte riktigt komma in i någon rytm, men sen efter 5-6 matcher kändes det som att vi började klicka ordentligt och började spela bättre som lag, och vi har ju vår styrka som lag är vårt djup. Alla kan spela och bidra och har gjort några fina förändringar i laget inför den här säsongen, och jag gillar verkligen vårt lag, så att Men det viktiga är ju att vi blir bättre ju längre säsongen går och att vi kan försöka höja våran standard egentligen genom hela säsongen och sen att man försöker pricka formen till slutspel såklart. Men än så länge gillar jag det jag sett och det är klart att skador och även nu covid har spelat en stor roll i hur det har gått nu på senaste tiden och vi har suttit egentligen hemma och häckat nu i 2 veckor så att det ska bli kul att komma tillbaka och lagom tid ut mot matchen.
There are no more questions. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Jonathan. That concludes today's media availability. Thank you all for your time, and thank you to all the media who joined and participated today.
Thank you.